What is the biggest challenge you faced?
I am a woman, so the biggest challenge I face are men.
On a personal level, what is the biggest challenge you faced and how did you overcome?
The biggest challenge I have is to have funding. Luckily, we are an enterprise. 5 years I was just an ONG, and that was very hard, and that's why we changed our business model from an NGO to an enterprise. Because taking care of a lot of people requires a lot of resources. And something else that we have a challenge with is encountering the mindset on the field. I am a woman, so the biggest challenge I face are men. It's very hard in a traditional setting to understand feminine or women leadership. You have to pose yourself and you have to come sometimes as a mother because the culture is very family oriented. Another challenge that I have faced is that I needed to understand the technological aspects of my job and tools so that I would be able to use them to put in place whatever I was trying to create. And lastly, the last challenge I really encountered to link the job that I was doing here to international standards and to have international standards be adapted back into our system. That sounds general, but practically speaking, it's not easy. But we're getting there. I'm adapting specifically myself, and I'm creating a local and international network that is helping me to be able to accomplish these challenges. And I think there's another very important aspect, the culture. Congolese culture has a lot of different sources, outsources within itself. It's branched out into different subcultures, and it would be very sad to not share it. But sometimes it's very strange. You know, in Congo, I should have to call you Father Tanwe because
What?
any man
Bro,
from a
what are you
certain
talking
age
about,
is
man?
simply called father, and women from a certain age are just called mother. 30 years old, not 50, but very young, from 25 years old, she'd be a mother or father. And it would sound a little strange, but it actually brings a significant change in professional setting. And that's why Congolese people are very loyal, even in work settings, because the cultural mentality mindset is telling us that this is a family. There are challenges to that, but there are also good things about that. So the challenge is to find the equilibrium. And I think I found the middle ground. And that adds a value added to the way that we work. And I really hope some people will be able to join our team and discover what these aspects are.
That is very interesting. Calling mother and father and how, yeah, when I think about it, it's very good to be calling that. First, I thought it is got to do with church because you have father in the church, right? The preacher is called father. So I thought it was about that, but I think it comes from the Congolese culture itself. It's not related to church. Am I right or wrong?
Linked to the culture, generally speaking. You can live at somebody's house that you don't know. Oh, something that really happens is that you can go into a store and you're looking for something that's not there, and the shopkeeper tells you to wait for them, keep their store whilst they go and look for that item somewhere else, and you keep their store. And they're not afraid to be like stolen. And something else that happens is that on the road, if a mother sees a young girl who would be the age of her daughter, and she feels like whatever this young girl is doing is not acceptable, that she would not accept for her own daughter, she feels entitled and she has the right to reprimand her right there on the street. And that's very common. That's a collectivistic culture, and we really think family. And I think it's because, generally speaking, Congolese people are Bantu. There are people from who are Nilotic and Pygmies, but mostly they are Bantu, and that's a specific people that has spread out over the years. And in this Bantu setting, it's a big clan. You know, you have specific tribes, but we're a big family. It's just a Bantu mentality.
If you want to invest in DRC, you have to consider the culture mentality. It's really important. You can't do a a good business in DRC without considering our mentality, because we are really a special people.
That's not only on, when it relates to family aspects, negative aspects that I would not like to go into. To invest, they can reach out to me and I'll tell them a little bit more about that. But in the meantime, it has nothing to do with churches. For a very long time, we were animists before we became Christians. And actually, it's this specific mentality that went within the churches and not the other way around.
What was the mentality you said? From what did you become Christians? I didn't get the word.
Animist, hold on, let me. So animism, right, is the belief that object, places, and creatures all possess a distinct spiritual essence. So ancestors, were very important, and we believe that they would listen to us, they could listen to us, and they would help us in our different walks of life. And so there were also aspects that would say that different tribes are linked to different kind of animals or totems. So these are aspects that were there for a very long time. In certain villages, it's still the case. But the majority of the Congolese people became Christian.
It's very similar to the beliefs in India. And we also have a lot of different groups following different traditions and rituals, and a lot of diversity and beliefs. But we believe that there is life, there is spirit in everything, there is God in every animal. That's what we also believe. It's very interesting to know about the culture, and this is the reason for the podcast. I wanted to talk to people from all around the world, in every city, every country, because somebody from outside, they don't really know what happens in, like, whatever we know, it's from the news or from the media, whatever the dominant topic is. So it's not really people connecting to people like that. So glad with this we are getting to know insights about that. I never would have thought that people over there are so warm and so welcoming that you can stay in their house, or the grocer, the person at the grocery, and all the stories you said.
Watch full podcast on Rocklaz.
Rocklaz Radio. Rocklaz.
Rocklaz.
Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.